So I've wandered off here into the desert in the Mojave, and hopefully the wind isn't too loud on the screen here. I'm trying to hide behind this big cactus behind me. But I'm going through the Philokalia again, some of them desert fathers, and kind of learning some of these ideas about spiritual life and some of the methods for self-control and for really guiding our mind to higher thoughts and a higher way of being. And from Abba Mark's letter written to Nicholas, he says, I will show you a marvelous spiritual method for this self-control, for this living a spiritual life successfully. He says, I will show you a marvelous spiritual method and a means to achieve this, a method not requiring physical labor or even any exertion, but demanding a spiritual work, attention of mind and attention of thought, assisted by respect and love of God. By the use of this method, you will always be able to easily defeat the enemy host, or that avidya, that longing for things of the senses, that entertainment with the things that change. So then, if you wish to gain victory over your passions, abide within yourself by prayer, and with God's help, and descending into the very depths of your heart, discover there these three strong giants. Forgetfulness, that wandering of the mind away from your spiritual nature, away from your spiritual identity, away from the knowledge that you have of who you are and what your essence is. So that's one of the strong giants, forgetfulness. The second is laziness, just not wanting to do the work, not being sincere inside, just wanting to follow your passions, to follow your moods, to follow the demands of the body. And the third, ignorance. That's not knowing the nature of the things you desire. That's not discerning properly so that you see that all of these things that you've desired have got you on a treadmill, that with their expiration dates, the fact that nothing lasts forever and you're constantly having to go back and draw the water again and again and again and again. So he says that these acts are supporters of the intruders, that these are the reasons that we fail, because of forgetfulness, because of laziness, and because of ignorance. But you, having found all of these evil giants within, since you now know what the three problems are for our lack of success, he says, by strict attention and exertion of the mind, together with help from above, you will find it easy later to get rid of them, again, through prayer and attention. Then your zeal for true knowledge, your remembering the teachings of the divine, and your harmonizing your will and your life therewith, together with your attention constantly standing on guard in the heart, carefully protected by the active power of grace, will destroy and wipe out the last traces of forgetfulness, of ignorance and laziness. So what he's talking about there is the continual remembrance of the presence of God, which we keep talking about. But really in spiritual life, I'm finding that is one of the most fundamental necessities for success if you are taking the path of devotion, the path of love for God. And that is to constantly keep your mind on guard. When the first sign of the ideas of ignorance are grabbing you, when the body starts demanding its attention or the mind starts causing its forgetfulness and its laziness, at that time return to the name of God immediately and hold the thought of God within, because you'll find that as long as your weaknesses don't inhabit your mind, as long as you place your attention elsewhere, they have no power whatsoever, no ability to move you. They are utterly under your control. And so this strict adherence to attention, this strict adherence to the love of God, to the thoughts of divine, to the higher sense of being, motivated by love, motivated by freedom, motivated by knowledge, through discernment, to return your mind immediately to the mantra, to the name of God, and continue it, thinking deeply on the presence of God in the world around you and in your heart and in your life, and leave no room for these other thoughts to work their way in there. It's a test of sincerity is what it is. How badly do you want them? How carefully have you discerned and learned the nature of desire? What is it, ask yourself, that you're really trying to get in life? And see where it takes you. The scriptures promise, the teachings of these sages promise, that with this strict attention, with this strict guarding of the mind and of the heart, those things that you love and the things that you think about, you will have success.